Wubba lubba dub dub motherfuckers. What is going on, everyone? It is I. It is everyone's favorite jack of all trades with the foul mouth coming to urban. Welcome back to another awesome fucking video, guys. I greatly do appreciate it. Before I do dive into this bitch, big special shout out to all of you guys, my viewers and my subscribers, for sticking around and watching this shit. The reason why I fucking do it is for all of you guys, so yeah. And today I will be showing you guys my entire book collection as of, well, early this year, as of February of 2026. And before I do show you all this shit, I'll just have a recap of what I do have right now. As you guys can see, I am reading this book. This is Iowa-class Battleships by Malcolm Mueller. And of course, recently I got Sole Survivor by Dennis Hale, which this book is really nice because, if I can find it, this book was autographed by Dennis Hale himself, so that's really cool. I got this book, Shinano, The Sinking of Japan's Secret Super Ship. This issue of Oceanus, which is about the Bismarck saga. And I got Bill O'Reilly's Killing Kennedy, The End of Camelot. So, without any fucking further ado, I showed you those books. Now I'm going to try to show you guys the books that are actually hiding under the fucking shelves too. So, without any fucking further ado, let's go ahead and try to show you some of these fucking books. We have this old copy of Exploring the Titanic, which is an older book I have, and then Sinking the Titanic, Eyewitness Accounts. And these other books I got include Travelers Through Time, Back to the Titanic, book 2 of the 3-book collection of Titanic, which I really should get this series, but I'll probably get better condition. Heroes of the Titanic, Eyewitnesses book on trains, and this really cool coloring book about warships, World War II warships to be exact. And somebody was asking me, was like, why haven't you did anything with this? I don't know. Just really haven't done anything with it. I mean, I thought about copying some of the shit out of here, like making what's it called, copies of shit, maybe doing some colorings, but never done it. And then so we have fucking, you know what, I wish I had that fucking pointer, but I don't have it with me. Anyway, we have, that's an illustrated Night to Remember by Walter Lord, Unsinkable by Daniel I. Butler, Liners to the Sun by John Maxwell Graham, Titanic at 2 AM by Paul Quinn, QE2 by Wardwick and Flahar, and right there's HMS Belfast, that's by Richard Johnson Braden. And of course, Ships of the U.S. Merchant Marine by Farrington, Shipwreck by Thomas and Wiswich about the Morro Castle, Titanic by Michael Davies, The Only Way to Cross by John Maxwell Graham, Lusitania by Diane Preston, Crossing and Cruising is also by John Maxwell Graham, Transatlantic, which is by Stephen Fox, The Ship of Dreams, which is by Garrett Russell, Dead Wake is The Last Crossing of Lusitania by Eric Larson. This is a 100-year collection anniversary box set of the Titanic. Ships of Ellis Island, which, if I move this sailing ship out of the way, by William H. Miller. Volume 1 of the North Atlantic Seaway by N.P.R. Bonzer. I still need to get the volumes 2, 3, and 4. And of course, 50 Famous Liners and 50 Famous Liners 2, which are both by Franco Brandert and Bill Miller, which that one there is actually autographed by Frank Brandert himself. So, and now under here, if I can pull them out, have the 2012 centennial issue of the Titanic. We have this book here. It's about epilogue to Titanic. This one's from 1987. This is the December 1985 issue of how Titanic was found. And this one is when they finally looked at the wreck using JJ of December of 1986. So we have those. And we also have here 2 copies of A Night to Remember, the 1997 Pocketbook edition, and the 1970s Book Club edition. So we have those. And then we also have here Finding the Titanic by Dr. Ballard, which is a children's book on the subject. 101 Things You Thought You Knew About the Titanic But Didn't by Tim Moulton. That's a good book. And A Treasure of Titanic Tales by Webb Garrison. And on this shelf, we have the Titanic Disaster Hearings, edited by Tom Kuntz. This is actually the entire transcripts of the American Senate investigations and what inspired James Cameron to fucking make the movie Titanic. We have a paperback small copy of Discovery of the Titanic by Dr. Ballard, Titanic Disaster or Destination Disaster by Eaton and Haas. It's actually an early copy, like a first edition. Last Story of the Titanic by Captain Brown, Titanic Survivor, which was written by Violet Jessup. She was the only known person to have been on the Olympic when she was collided with Hawke, Titanic when she sank, and Britannic when she sank. And it was edited by John Maxtone Graham. Titanic's Last Secrets, which is by Brad Meltzer, great book. Titanic Fortune and Fate. Eyewitness to Titanic, RMS Titanic Model Maker's Guide. The Maiden Voyage by Jeffrey Marcus. The Story of the Titanic, which that's a really classic book. We have Titanic First Accounts, which is a nice one. A first edition of Night Lives On and a first edition of A Night to Remember, both by the legendary late great Walter Lord. All 3 of Charles Pellegrino's Titanic books, including Her Name Titanic, Ghost of the Titanic, and Farewell Titanic, Her Final Legacy. John Maxtone Graham with Titanic Tragedy. Sinking of the Titanic, Eyewitness Accounts, which I think that is another copy of the book I showed you earlier. Then we have On Board the Titanic by Marshall. And then we have Robert Ballard's book, Explorations, Life of Underwater Adventures. When Craig Wade's Titanic End of a Dream. Great fucking book. It's a detailed summary of the investigation, of the Senate investigation, which is really a nice look into that. It's really great. Down with the Old Canoe, The Cultural History of the Titanic by Stephen Buell, which is great. Beyond Reach, which is The Search for the Titanic by Jack Grimm and Sumner Hoffman. This is Jack Grimm's attempt at finding the Titanic. Then we have Titanic by Anna Claiborne and Katie Danis. Hoffer's book Saved, which is about the Andrea Doria. The Atlantic Liners by Emmons, which is kind of like a visual dictionary book on ocean liners. And then as we move on down through here, try to move some of the shit out of the way so I can show you. We have The Last Days of the Titanic by E. O'Donnell. Titanic Voices by Haslop, Foyser, and Jamia. Bismarck, 24 Hours of Doom. Another copy of HMS Belfast. Titanic Sinking the Mist by D.E. Bristol. This is a really fucking awesome book. Wonderful book. It definitely sheds a lot of light onto a lot of the bullshit surrounding the Titanic disaster. Just gonna let you know. I don't know if I've done a book review on it. If not, I need to. There's a copy of The Great Luxury Liners by Bill Miller. The Titanic by Geoff Tibbles. Polar the Titanic Bear by Spenton McGall. An eyewitness accounts book on Titanic. Exploring the Lusitania by Dr. Ballard. Exploring the Titanic, also by Dr. Ballard. And this book is Titanic's 75 Years of Legend by David F. Hutchins. And this one here is RMS Olympic, The Old Reliable by Simon Mills. Anatomy of the Titanic by Tom McCluskey. James Cameron's Titanic, which is the official movie book to the movie. And this is a children's book of Ghost of the Abyss, which is a James Cameron film. The Lusitania by Colin Simpson. John Max Tone Graham's book on the Queen Mary 2. This particular book is Ocean Liner Postcard Book by Bill Miller. We have Titanic Artifacts Exhibit. Another book on the Titanic. 882.5 Amazing Answers to Your Questions of the Titanic. Inside the Titanic, which is a Ken Marshall book. You know, Ken Marshall's big fucking cutaway book. I wish I had the hardback one. Triumph of the Edwardian Age by Eric Sauter and Ken Marshall, which is about Lucy. On Board the Titanic by Shelley Tanika. Great Cruise Ships and Ocean Liners from 54 to 86 by Bill Miller. Titanic, the Tragedy That Shook the World. That's a Life Books exclusive. Fabulous Interiors of the Ocean Liners and Historic Pictures by Bill Miller. Titanic by Thomas E. Bunzall. Another copy of the Great Luxury Liners by Bill Miller. And this book here is 1912 Facts About Titanic by Lee Meredith. And this particular copy is autographed. As you can see, autographed copy. And then we have Classic Days of Steam. I Survived the Sinking of the Titanic. Titanic Trivia. Another copy of the book Shipwreck about the Moral Castle. Another copy of Titanic by Win Craig Wade. And the Star Trek book, Chain of Attack. Which is kind of weird because there's the Enterprise, the refitted Enterprise, but then you have Captain Kirk and Scotty from the original series, which really makes no fucking sense why they did that artwork that way, but whatever. Gilded Lies Fatal Voyage, which is about the first class passengers on Titanic by Hugh Brewster. The Band That Played On by Steve Turner, which is about the Titanic's band. Alive on the Andrea Doria, which is written by a survivor of the Andrea Doria. The Complete Encyclopedia of Steamships, Merchant Steamships from 1798 to 2006. Another copy of Destination Disaster, the newer version. Another copy of A Night to Remember. A paperback copy of 1912 Facts About Titanic. A paperback copy of Transatlantic. Lusitania, Tragedy or War Crime. Another hardback copy of 1912 Facts About Titanic. Complete Idiot's Guide to the Titanic by, I don't know, Ship Ablaze, which is about the General Slocum disaster, the day they sank the Lusitania. A paperback copy of Her Name Titanic by Charles Pellegrino, and a copy of Morgan Robertson's The Wreck of the Titan. Now I think I'm going to cut it off here, and I think I'll do a part 2 where I'll show you guys this bottom shelf, and I'll show you all that shit there. So hopefully until part 2, guys, you know, this is Commodore Urban. Thanks, smooth seas and clear skies. Happy sailing with you. God bless you all. Take care, stay safe, be yourselves. Jesus is good, Lord, love you all very much. Until next time, I'll catch you on Warm Trade, one hell and one knows, and anchors away, motherfuckers. Yeah.